Fisherman 83. What's up? Nick, how you doing? Not out fishing? Eric? Frank? Jay Fishman? What's up? How you guys doing? Been catching any lunkers? Any big ones? Let's see. JB's fishing stuff. I'm doing good, man. How you doing? I might show you guys one of the lunkers I caught. I don't think I've posted it on Instagram yet. Let me see here. See if I have. Nope, I haven't. I'm going to post one right now so I can show you guys. Might go fishing Friday. Got called into work today. We'll have your package in the mail tomorrow. No fishing lately. 3 inches of snow today. We got like 4 inches of snow yesterday. It was crazy. It was all gone by middle of the day though. Catfish and crappie. Well, I think anytime you can fish, you should. Busy as a beaver. That's the problem. Everybody's busy. The nice weather though, man, the fish aren't going to wait. I was talking to Dean. We went out Saturday and we were just talking about the fact that where I live, probably where most of you guys live, you got a very narrow window where you've got springtime, pre-spawn, spawn. This is the time. And it's the time when it's pretty easy to catch fish, relatively speaking. And your chances of catching a lunker are right now. Your chances of catching that big lunker, multiple lunkers, are right now. You figure this spring, I've already caught 1 over 8, 1 over 7, 2 or 3 over 6. My buddy Dean's caught his personal best, an 8.5 pounder. He's caught a 6.5 pounder, just fishing with me some. And these big fish, now's the time. Now is the time. JB's repairing lots of boats. Kick your bass, man. I saw your picture there out at Truman Lake, man. Were you chasing crappie out there, or were you bass fishing? Now's the time for lunkers. The lunker window. We're in the lunker window right now. All right, let me see here. Got to find one of my photos of my big donkey that I just caught. Here's one. Let's see if I can. There, that'll work. Mainly bass, though. How did it go, Kick Your Bass? Is Truman doing well right now? I know Truman was on fire for crappie, but I haven't heard much about bass lately. I'm going to post this big bass on my Instagram, then I can show you on the screen here. Gonna bust Chickamauga wide open next week, and man, am I ready. Dude, Chickamauga is one of those lakes where you can definitely have a double-digit PB for sure. Biggest bass I've ever caught late fall, right before winter sets in. Yeah. Walt, how you doing, man? All right, let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and submit this one picture. My count is I'm up to 248 fish for the year. So I'm almost a fourth of the way to my goal of 1,000 fish. You need a fish brain account to put some fish on. Yeah, I've never gotten into that fish brain stuff. I've seen a couple of guys talk about it. Just chilling, eh, Walt? All right, I'm gonna pull my Matthew. How you doing, man? I'm gonna pull up my Instagram while we're talking, so I can show you guys this big fish I caught the other night. Oh yeah, there it is. It's a pretty good one. It's not my biggest by any means, but it's exciting when you catch one like this, even if it's not the biggest you've ever caught. So that one was 6.5 pounds. It looks maybe a little smaller in the picture, but that was a 6.5 pounder. I weighed it on a worm, and Dean and I were fishing together, and we had been catching them kind of shallow in places, and we were throwing chatter baits and moving baits, and we were getting bit, but it wasn't like lights out. And so then he started throwing a worm, actually, and worm fishing is not his strength, but he's actually starting to get pretty good at it. And he started catching not really huge ones, but decent fish. He was starting to catch several in a row. So I thought, well, I'm going to start throwing the worm too. What up, Clint? 7 minutes late. That's a record for you, man. You're almost early. And got a couple of depth scat. Can't wait to use them. Heard they're killers. Yeah, I was just looking at a picture on those. I'm interested in those as well. Have any of you guys fished with those yet? They're pretty interesting looking. Here's one I'll show you on my screen here. If you don't know what they are, that's what they look like. The depths cover scat. That's what Matthew's talking about there. And yeah, they look killer. I saw a video of them in the water. Look like some pretty sweet action. Man, I'd like to fish those strip pits, kick your bass. I've got several buddies that fish them and say they're amazing. And I haven't. I've never fished them. Yeah, I didn't put it up on the screen there, Reese. I was just showing you on my phone. But yeah, it looks like a good bait. I'm definitely going to order some and try them. The little bee I got to fish Monday, skunked. Terribly windy. Then the snow came yesterday. Yeah, dude, the snow came for us. Maybe it came on Tuesday as well. And Monday, the wind was howling. Yeah, it was crazy. You notice that stuff in a kayak. Man, if you never noticed the wind before, get yourself a kayak and you will sure notice it right away. That's the main reason I wanted to get Spot Lock on my boat, my bass boat. Spot Lock is just amazing. Zach, I bought most of my swim baits at different places. Like my Depths 250s, most of those I've bought from private sellers on eBay. That's these here. But you can buy these new at tackle stores like Tackle Warehouse. You can't always get the color you're looking for, though. So eBay is a good place to look for swim baits. The eye slides, the eye slides you can buy brand new at tackle stores like Tackle Warehouse. This is the 262 eye slide, 262, and yeah, you can get these at any tackle store that sells swim baits. And then private sellers and stuff like that. It depends, you know. I always go look at the tackle stores like the Hooked Up Tackle there in Arizona and Tackle Warehouse for swim baits. And if I can't find them there, then I start looking for private sellers. Blackberry winter, 32 degrees. Dude, I know it, man. The temperature tonight. We had took all our plants out several weeks ago. I had to bring them all back in the other night because it's getting right around freezing. Yeah, Motor Guide XI3. Well, I actually had a Motor Guide XI3 with my previous kayak and was pretty excited to use it. And then I decided to buy the Hobie. So I actually sold it before I ever used it. But a lot of kayaks are going with those iPilot trolling motors, and I don't blame them, man. That's very, very, very tempting. I'm careful of the hooks, Walt. I'm paying attention. This is the one I should show all the time because it doesn't have any hooks on it at all. It's good and safe. I got hook covers on a lot of them, but some of the hooks aren't the right size for my hook covers, so I just need to buy some more hook caps. Yeti Whisper, how's it going? 29 in Southern Mo. Yeah, well, up in here in Northern Mo, it's not much warmer. It's 45 right now. It's supposed to get down to 29 tonight. That is just not right. The one thing I'm loving, though, is the fact that it's daylight till like 8 p.m. now. So I've been trying to go fishing most nights after work. You've still got like 3 hours that you can fish. And I'll tell you what, having 1,000 fish goal really changes your focus, because usually I'm looking for really big fish. Now I'm looking for quantity, because 1,000 fish is a lot of fish in 1 year. It's a lot. Do you think this weather will set the fishing back? No. Kick your bass. I don't. They're not even paying attention to this, man, and it's not long enough. It's more about, it's less about temperature anyway. It's more about the length of daylight. And the daylight's, it's bright most of the day, all the way, like I said, till 9 p.m., and it's not going to change those fish at all. They're going to keep doing what they're doing. It's been in the 80s, but this week it'll be in the 70s. So Frank's got to be in a much warmer part of the world than me. I am in Kansas City, Missouri, Simon. Yeah, you're right. I could catch 1,000 crappie a lot quicker. There's no doubt about that. because they like, they just school up. They school up and hang out together and they all eat together. Bass is a lot harder. Yeah, that's right, Eric. It's daylight. That cold. Water temps right now are anywhere from 60 to even up to mid 70s right now where I'm at. Although that's rare. They're in full pre-spawn, spawn, and even probably some post spawners now. And they're not worried about water temp at all. In fact, I'd say the only part of weather that even bothers them right now is if you got tons of rain, which made the water rise really fast. That's going to affect them. And anytime a storm's coming in and the barometer's falling, that falling barometric pressure will impact them. But air temps do not matter right now. When bass fishing, I still manage to have crappie attacks my bait. Yeah, I love that because usually if you're fishing for bass, you're fishing with a bigger bait. And when you do get bit, you're going to get a big crappie usually that hits it, which makes it fun. Yeah, it is. It's still swinging. It must just be so perfectly balanced. That eye slide, you're back there on the screen, you can still see it moving slightly. I hung that thing up like 10 minutes ago. It's still moving. That is wild. Maybe it wants to go fish. But what I was getting at, I got sidetracked because you guys asked me questions, and which I'm happy to answer. What I was going to say about the 1,000 bass challenge is I wanted to do a lot more big glide bait fishing this year. That was one of my goals, to fish big glide baits way more. But I got this pressure to catch lots of numbers. And I know if I take a big glide bait, I might fish all day and only catch one fish. So I've been avoiding it. Yeah, David, I had like 4 inches of snow on my car. I think it was, what is today? Today's Wednesday. I think it was yesterday. It was crazy. Yeah, it says eat meat. So I'm kind of, in a quandary. I've publicly announced my 1,000 fish goal, so that's got to be my first priority. But it's going to limit my ability to actually spend much time fishing big baits. Although, for you guys that weren't on Saturday, I went out Saturday and fished with that little baby bull gill, the Mike Buka bait. This is the box for it. This is a little swim bait. It's little though. It's only it's less than 4 inches. It's small. But man, they were hammering this thing. If you have not tried one of these and you live in a place where, well, almost every place that has bass will go after a bluegill bait. This thing is the bomb. Baby bull gill. They were eating that thing like you wouldn't believe. Here's actually a picture of it in case some of you don't know what it looks like. I think the only place you can get it is Mystery Tackle Box. Does anybody know? Can you get it at Tackle Warehouse too? This thing flat out catches bass. I caught 47 fish that day, and I think I'll bet you 35 of them came on that baby bull gill. Okay. Academy Sports has them. DSG has them. Okay. I thought they were an exclusive with Catchco, but maybe they're not. Yeah, Matthew, I got a time. I've already got that on my list because I've never thrown the bull shooters. I was like, you can only buy so many baits. But after, I wouldn't have bought this. I would not have bought this. It just came in a mystery tackle box. I'm glad it did because, dude, that thing was slamming them. Just fish after fish after fish after fish. They loved it. The tiny bull shooter. You're right. I'll go on Tackle Warehouse and show you that bull shooter. Mike Bucca. That bull shooter. Bull shad is a very well-known swim bait. Here it is. I'm going to share my screen so those of you who don't know about this. This is like the big brother of that baby bluegill. It's a lot more money than the baby bluegill. Mike Bucca Bull Shad is what it's called. Dang, you lost 3 chatterbaits at one time. The one problem with chatterbaits, and it's not the brand, it's any vibrating jig, is they're terrible around wood. And you are going to lose some if you're throwing around wood. But like I always say, the fish are around the wood, so it's stupid not to throw around the wood. You just got to accept the fact you're going to lose some. Yeah, these things are not cheap, are they? Let's see what the price is here. Price is $50 for the 5-inch, $58 for the 6-inch, $66 for the 7-inch, $68 for the 8-inch, $90 for the 9-incher. That is a big bait, a 9-incher. But there's a lot of guys that they swear by it. Yeah, never go to the lake with just one chatterbait. That is a bad plan because you are going to lose it. And it'll probably be a day when they are absolutely slaying the chatterbait. So don't jinx yourself. Always bring a bunch of bladed jigs when you're going to fish a chatterbait. Yeah, Matthew, that's pretty much true of any. I mean, big swim baits catch big fish. You're just going to get less bites, much fewer bites. I'm going to buy one of those, though. Especially after my baby gill. But hey, this baby gill, if you don't have tons of money, this thing's only $15. And I'd say it's well worth $15. Well worth it. Let's see, what do I got going on there? Okay, I was going to remind you guys, tomorrow night I'm going to be on Burley's show, Burley's live podcast. So I think it's at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. So be sure you hop on Burley's live stream tomorrow night, Burley Fishing, because I am going to be on there, and it'll be good to have you guys on asking questions. Should be fun. Jackson and Machek, how you guys doing? Burley and Paul on their show. So that should be fun. Yeah, Matthew. Who in their right mind would pay that much money? I think it's more than that. I thought he said it was like $1,148 for a new leather swim bait at Tackle Warehouse, 42 ounces. And yeah, you'd need a big freaking tuna rod. The thing that, I mean, the price alone is insane, but why would you want a leather swim bait? He said that you've got to soak the leather. The leather has to be soaked so that it absorbs enough water so that it swims true. I was like, that's insane. I mean, the $200 swim bait seems pretty cheap. Yeah, that's what it is. Get your fish on. $1,147 is what that thing is. Speaking of get your fish on, you guys need to go check out his channel. This is a Steve. He and I, if you guys saw my unboxing, my tackle swap that I did with Burley, Steve Chapman with Get Your Fish On here and I are doing the same thing. Well, we're doing a little different. Instead of doing a Tackle Warehouse order, I went through my tackle room and I selected $50 worth of lures, retail price, and sent them to Steve. But Steve has connections in the industry where he can get lures, some lures at cost. And so he decided to put a twist on this. And what he's going to do is he's going to send me $50 worth of wholesale price lures, not retail, which means I'm the winner of this exchange because I'm going to get more baits in the mail than he does. Yeah, Steve is a great guy, Frank. It's going to be an interesting experiment because we're going to release our videos the same day, just like we did with Burley. So you can go to Get Your Fish On, watch his video of my lures. Then you can come to Mr. Bass channel, watch my video of Steve's lures, and you're going to be amazed. You know, in my box, he might get 6 lures, something like that. And on Steve's box, he won't tell me how many lures it's going to be, but he said it's a lot. And you're going to be amazed at how much markup there is in lures when you see the difference. But it should be pretty fun. I had a blast doing the Burley one, and Steve and I are really looking forward to doing the Get Your Fish On Mr. Bass tackle exchange, the tackle swap. Oh, sweet. Look at that. Steve's thinking about making another one just to give away to somebody. That would be fun. Fisherman 83, you're right. If you want to, Steve over at Get Your Fish On has this in-depth look that he does on baits. One, he's got a great camera, so he gives you really up close, highly detailed footage of each of the baits that he's reviewing. It's called a closer look. He does a closer look on all these lures, all these baits. and really, really good stuff. So if you're a tackle nut like I am, you need to go look at his lures. Yeah, this too. Not only did he put all these lures together for me, then he made a catalog for me like they do in the mystery tackle boxes, you know, where it shows you each lure and gives you a little explanation on each one. So that's going to be fun. See you, Kick Your Bass. Have a good one, man. I don't blame you, man. I'd rather be fishing myself. Mr. Bass, you should show everyone the first bass that I caught on a spinnerbait. Did you send it to me? My check? I don't remember. I'm going to have to go look. Oh, yeah, here it is. That's right. My check sent me this. I remember it now. The other day. We gotta give a shout out to my check. This is the first bass he's ever caught on a spinnerbait. How about this? Bam. That looks like a Guggenbait spinnerbait. Is that what that is, my check? There is my check's first spinnerbait bass ever. Can you believe it? Yeah. That looks like a Guggen Squad spinnerbait. Spinnerbait fishing is fun. I can your first spinnerbait fish ever's got to feel great. Good deal. Go subscribe to get your fish on, guys. I don't think we have an Ollie's where I live. I've heard about them, but I've never been to one. My check, killing them on the spinnerbait. That's pretty sweet. Okay, he sent me a better picture he wants me to show. Okay. We will switch pictures here. All right. That is a little better picture. There it is. First spinnerbait fish ever. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, we could probably turn the videos out on Saturday. If my package shows up tomorrow and Get Your Fishes package shows up tomorrow, look for our videos on Saturday, which will be a nice replacement because I'm not doing a live stream Saturday. If you guys remember, I'm getting on a plane Saturday night. So I'm not doing a Saturday night live stream, but we'll pick one up next week, the following week. That's cool, man, to see somebody catch their first fish. Yeah, I'm not going to do it on Friday, Eric. I'm going to have too much stuff getting ready for leaving. So sorry. It'll be my first one I've missed, but it's inevitable. It's a family thing. Let's see. What else was I going to tell you guys? Okay, I put some new videos up. You guys have probably seen them. Some of my unboxing videos. The 6 Sense stuff came in this week, so I put those videos up. The Major League Fishing Champions box came in, and I posted that just a couple of hours ago. Yeah, man, it's a good question, Steve, because I haven't tried your Florida one yet. I got that one coming. You know, it's really a hard question. What subscription box is the best? Because it really depends on what you're looking for. Most guys would say, well, heck, the Super 6 sacks are great. The baits are super high quality. And I wouldn't disagree with that, but you get the same stuff every month. It's 6 Sense lures. And, you know, I've been getting those for, I don't know, a couple of years now, I think. You know how many Quake 70s I got? You know how many Curve 55s I got? It's insane. So that is kind of a downside to the Super 6 sack. I think if you were going to subscribe to the Super 6 sack, you should subscribe to the cheapest one, the standard, because you only get 5 lures like this month that came with 2 hard baits and 3 soft plastics. But if you get the premium or the tailored Super 6 sack, you're just going to overload yourself with a bunch of lures. You're never going to be able to fish them all. Yeah, they are. I've put some Super 6 stuff in there. I've put some, you know, most of my monthly box lures go in there. So they're full again. Plus we've had, Jackson sent me some lures. Chris Hill has sent me lures that I put in there. And, so has Christopher Shue. So the Major League Fishing box that I opened today, I mean, they're all name brand, high quality stuff. You know, Steve, go look at Steve's reviews of some of these boxes. Like he just did one of the Monster Bass and what was the name of that other company, Steve? Bass. I can't remember the name of it. He'll remind me here in a minute. He was pretty brutal in that video, and there's some truth to it. You know, guys who fish a lot, we know the brands, and we know the name brands, and we know the brands in our minds that we think are high quality, and we know the brands that we think are cheap. And if you start getting the reputation of putting a lot of cheap knockoffs in your box, Bass Baits Monthly, that's it. You get a reputation of putting a bunch of cheap baits in your box, man, the competition's fierce. So Major League Fishing, you know, they only put 5 lures in there, but they're top quality lures, maybe 6. And they're only $30 a month. That's very reasonably priced compared to most of these boxes out there. And then they have their videos and their other stuff that the other guys don't have. So the Major League box is really pretty good. Yeah, Steve got called out. And you know, I've there's been some months where I've just thought the Monster Bass was off the charts awesome. And then there's some months where not so much. And same with Mystery Tackle Box. Mystery Tackle Box has months where they're awesome and then months where they're kind of lame. And Lucky, it seems like, is lame all the time now. Warriors is lame. It's gone. It's really gone downhill. Let's see. What else? What other ones have I tried? Oh, I like the Jewel Baits box. I got one of those for the first time this month, and I really liked it. I don't know if they have enough inventory, though, to keep me interested long term. We'll have to see. But at least with Jewel Baits, I know what I'm getting. It's kind of like 6 cents. I know what I'm getting with a 6-cent Super Sack. I know what I'm getting with a Jewel Baits Fish Tools box. There's not going to be any surprises. The Gambler box is really cool too, Walt, but it's not a subscription. It's like a I don't know how often they do those, but just periodically they put one of those bags up and they give you a good deal on them. And so I'll buy some of them. And I love Gambler lures. I think they're great. Of course, Gambler's all soft plastics to my knowledge. I don't know they do any hard baits. Here's the other thing. Do you guys, maybe this is just me. When I started getting Super 6 sacks, it was back before 6 cents made any soft plastics. It was just hard baits. So you'd get 6 hard baits or 7 or 8, depending upon the more expensive ones. Then they started doing, you would get hard baits and you would get swim jigs. That was kind of their thing, swim jigs and hard baits. Then they switched to soft plastics and started throwing soft plastics in there. And now, like this month, the standard sack had 2 crankbaits and 3 soft plastics, and I felt ripped off. There's something about the soft plastics that makes it feel cheaper. And soft plastics are cheaper, generally speaking. And I'm less excited about them now. It might be just because the 6 cent soft plastics look great, and I do fish with them some, but I've got so many other soft plastic companies that I love, like Zoom and Yamamoto and Gambler and so many others, that I don't really need more soft plastics. Really, that's why I don't fish with a lot of the Googan soft plastics. I don't need a ton of soft plastics, and you're just copying everybody else. I mean, well, like here, I still got some of the 6 cent stuff here. The clout worm is kind of unique, right? There aren't many worms out there that have this pattern on them, but it's a stick worm, and I can't say for sure, but my guess is this will catch you about the same amount of fish as any stick worm. There's nothing so amazing, off the wall, incredible about this that's going to make me put away my Yamamoto Senkos. It's not going to get me to replace them. It doesn't mean I won't try them, but same thing, the prawn. Here's the prawn. Okay. The prawn looks pretty cool, right? But what is the prawn? The prawn is a beaver. Dudes, I got thousands of beavers. I don't need another beaver. And you'd have a hard time convincing me that this thing is any better than a sweet beaver or a rage craw. I mean, it's a great bait. It's going to catch you fish, but is there anything unique about this? Really? No, there's not. There is not, guys. Yeah. And this is why I kind of feel cheaped out a little bit. Exactly what Get Your Fish On saying here. A pack of worms costs 80 to 90 cents. So if they can give you 3 soft plastics, think how much more money they're saving by doing that. It's a brilliant move. The guys at 6 cents are no dummies. I would have been making soft plastics too, absolutely. Missile Baits D-Bomb, exactly. At least the D-Bomb's a little different. It's got those ribs, and I've fished. I have had times where the action of those ribs on a D-Bomb will outfish a sweet beaver. But then there's some days where the sweet beaver just absolutely slays the D-Bomb. But at least those are different enough that I use both. I fish both. Right on. Truth detector. I don't think 6 Cents makes cheap, crappy plastic, though. I think they've got they've kind of got a company culture of quality, and I'm sure their plastics are good quality stuff. And I'll tell you who's turned the world upside down with soft plastics in my mind. It's Z-Man. Z-Man, even though Strike King and some of those others were using perfect plastics before Z-Man, Z-Man has taken the world by storm with their soft plastics. And it is very, very hard to argue that their soft plastics are they're some of the best in the whole fishing world. They're awesome. They're amazing. And they're super, super durable. And dude, when you're trying to save money, it gives them a huge leg up. It really does. Not only that, they pretty much monopolize the Ned rig. Their move with Ned Katie to kind of get dibs on the Ned rig name as part of their marketing effort was brilliant. Yeah. John, he missed the huge giveaway, didn't he, Eric? Dang, sorry about that, John. With your luck, the way you win, you probably would have won that humongous swim bait I gave away. I gave away that $1,147 swim bait at Tackle Warehouse, and you just missed it. You can't fool John. Going back to what's the best box. It's hard to say what the best box is. I was talking to the Monster Bass guys, and I think they have a great idea with their multi-species box because it's versatile. I don't know if it really would translate money-wise into being worth them putting tons of effort into it, but it just dawned on me while I was using that box one day that so many guys go out and they fish a pond, they might fish a lake, they might fish a stream or a river, and most guys will just fish for whatever's biting that day. Well, a multi-species box is a pretty smart idea because it gives you so many options. You can fish for crappie, you can fish for bass, you can fish for trout, you can fish for walleye. They give you a little bit of everything. I was kind of disappointed in this last month's box because they just overloaded it with bass stuff. It was like there was no panfish stuff in it. That really threw me off. I think if you're going to stay really competitive and be considered the best, you've got to really think seriously about what you're putting in your box every month. Don't just throw a bunch of overstocks in a box because you got to get rid of them. Mend it. Yes. I don't know if I have talked much about Mend it. I've got some. I don't think I have any here I could show the guys. Mend it comes in a little jar. I can pull it up on Tackle Warehouse's website. And This is actually, this is not the, yeah, this is it. Soft plastics can be repaired and reused over and over again. And Mend It is a great product to have. If you're trying to make a bait last, you're trying to reuse it, Mend It, boys and girls, is where it's at. It's got a little brush in there. And if you start tearing up a lure, like say, for example, one really important lure to use Mend It on is something like really big, expensive swim baits, if nothing else. Like, I don't think I have any sitting here, but my Citizens, my working class zero Citizen swim baits that literally cost, they're insane how much they cost. Those things you've got to make them last forever. So what will happen is the fish start chewing them up. You'll start wearing out where the hook comes through, and you can literally just take some of that and Mend It, brush it on the holes that the hook creates, and over time, let it dry. It doesn't even have to dry very long. Your bait is good as new. It really works great. So unless you just got unlimited funds and you can just throw stuff away, Clint's right. Mend It is something you should definitely have in your box. There's probably a couple other products that compare with Mend It, but Mend It's the only one I've ever used. John, believe it or not, the mag drafts do pretty well out of the clamshell. This is probably not recommended by them, but I'll just take a bunch of them and just throw them in a plain old box and they're fine. You definitely can't do that with some soft plastics, but the mag drafts seem to hold up pretty well. Oh yeah, this is a good tip Clint's sharing as well. I didn't even think to mention this, but he's right. Now this will give you something to do where you can create a bait that nobody else is throwing. Take 2 Senkos, a white and a red one, cut them into pieces, and then glue them into a candy cane. Bam! The candy cane Senko. Or you can glue like 7 of them together and have like the world's longest Senko and try fishing with the world's longest Senko and see how that does for you. I'll tell you what, John, I would not put my mag drafts next to other plastic baits at all. If they're in a bag, fine, but mixing plastic is a very, very bad idea. Trust me on this. If you want to preserve your mag draft, you should put them in a box with other mag drafts and nothing else. Do not put other plastics near them. Yeah, the Japanese do a lot of crazy stuff in the fishing world, man. That they experiment, and you go look at some of the baits those guys throw. It's like, how in the world did you guys even think to throw that, to make that? It's crazy. Crazy. Cut 2 paddle tail swim baits and Mend It. You could have 2 paddles, 1 on each end, and I probably wouldn't do very well at all. Yeah, this I've never tried. Mend It on a hollow body frog. Don't know if that works or not. The hollow body frogs are definitely a different plastic. but it might just work fine. I don't know. Yeah, they do. Back to the Japanese, they use a lot of bug-looking soft plastics. I'd like to go fish that Lake Biwa in Japan one time. Yeah, I've never done any of that. I have toyed with the idea. I've watched some guys on YouTube, obviously, making their own baits, and it looks fun. For me, it's just trying to find the time. You know, if I got spare time, I want to be fishing, not making lures. Wintertime would be a good time to make your own baits. Who has some kayak fishing tips for a kayak newbie? I can give you tips, kayak fishing tips if you're interested. I'll tell you the worst thing about a kayak is the wind. I was saying that earlier. Wind is so tough. This is why I cannot believe anybody would really go fish. Well, okay, here's this part of my problem. I live in a windy part of the world. In Northwest Missouri, where I live, it seems like the wind's always blowing. It's not like Wyoming, but it's blowing a lot. And wind is brutally tough. So I figured this out with my first kayak. It was a Jackson Coosa, and it was before there was such thing as a pedal drive. All you could get was a paddle. And paddling in the wind and trying to fish is insanely difficult. And not only that, it's not any fun. It is not fun at all. So recommendation number one, if you're going to buy a kayak, get one with pedals. Pedals help you fight the wind. How about this? Turtled. Well, hey, if you're in a kayak long enough, you're going to spill it. You're going to dump it. You're going to get that chance. This is a good tip. Wear a life jacket, and it's really tempting not to. There's so many times I've been out there and I've said to myself, I'd be all right today. But I don't do it. I always wear it. And part of why you should wear it is because maybe you say to yourself, well, I'm a great swimmer. I don't need that. I'm a super great swimmer. You might be, but if you drop in 50-degree water, it doesn't matter how good of a swimmer you are, it's very, very difficult to swim in super cold water. But you say, the water's warm. I swim great. You might swim great, but here's something that a lot of people don't think about. People pass out for various reasons. It doesn't happen a lot. It's rare, but people do pass out. And you could have some sort of a medical condition where you passed out, fell out of the kayak, and even though you're a great swimmer, you would still drown if you're not wearing a PFD. You could have a heart attack. There's all kinds of things that could happen other than just accidentally dumping out. If you accidentally dump out and the water's warm and there's not a huge swift current and you're a good swimmer, you probably are okay. But you should not take the chance. It just doesn't make sense to take the chance. How about this? The wind caused me to get motion sick. I'll tell you what the wind did to me. It ticked me off. It got me furious. Trying to fight that wind some days. It's like, oh my goodness. A PFD's cheap insurance, really. Have any of you guys tried the one that you just wear around your waist? It's like just a belt. I wonder how those work. I saw a guy doing a kayak video the other day, and that's all he was wearing. And I was wondering, does that thing really work? Yeah, that's another thing, Matthew. You're fully clothed, and once you're, I had to do this when I was a kid in Boy Scouts for like the swimming merit badge. You had to jump in a pool fully clothed, and then you had to take your shoes off and take your pants off, and then you would tie the ends of the legs together, and you can make a life preserver out of your jeans by flipping it over your head really quick, and it forces air into them, and then it actually really works. But if you've never jumped in fully clothed, it is super hard to keep your head above water for very long. Clint, I had to help Fish and Game find an angler with no life jacket. Never take the chance. Yeah, you're right. Okay, the kayak power pole is awesome. It really, really is. But it's not perfect. It's not the best. I mean, it's not a perfect solution because so many times you need the anchor to be at the bow, the front of the boat, instead of the back. That's the only downside to, well, there's two downsides to the power pole anchor. That's the one, is it's only on the back. I would love to have one in the front and one in the back. But the other thing that sucks about the power pole anchor is the same thing that sucks about having your rods vertical. If you fish around tree limbs, that power pole is going to get snagged in the trees all the time. It's going to drive you nuts. If you're in open water and you're in a lot of wind and you're a lot of current and you need to hold yourself in place, that power pole micro anchor is amazing. Now, I got power poles on my bass boat too, and I want to give a plug to Power Pole. They're not sponsors or anything like that, but their customer service at Power Pole is amazing. They are off the charts great. They always have been for me anyway, and I've heard a lot of other guys say the same thing. I don't care how good Minn Kota blades or any of those other brands are, I'm never buying them because I've had so much good experience with the power pole guys when I needed help. They've been great. So my opinion, real life, is that the kayak power pole micro anchor is amazing. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. I think it's well worth the money, but it is not an end all. Just like a regular anchor with a rope is not 100% perfect either. What's this here? I found a solution to the rods, a Gatlin rod rack. You can mount them and store your rods vertically, and they swing around for you. Really? I got to look that thing up. Gatlin rod rack. Gatling rod holder. Oh, here it is right here. Interesting. I wish they showed how it worked on their website. They don't show you how it works. It's Gatling, Gatling, I think is the one you're talking about, right? The Gatling rod holder, is that it? Jan! I didn't think you were going to join us today. Okay, Walt, I got this pulled up. I'm going to share it on the screen here in case somebody's interested. I'm definitely going to go check this out because this is such a headache. And what I've found, I'm surprised that I do not use the horizontal rod tubes on my kayak very much at all, ever. I thought I would use them a lot, and I just don't. Yeah, Jan just pulled a Clint. Except Jan's even later than Clint usually. Jan is an hour and 6 minutes late. That is amazing. Is this the one you were talking about, Walt, right here? The Gatling rod holder. Looks cool. If you go to the store, click on the swing arm, there's a video of how they work. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do, I'll do one hat video tonight, Matthew. I'll do a hat question, a team, and we'll give away this lucky tackle box, panfish box. This is actually one of their better boxes this time. It's got, check out this little bait that came in this thing this time. Any of you guys ever tried this? I'm going to have to go to full screen so you can see this. Look at this little thing. It's not so much that it's a super tiny crappie jig. That didn't surprise me, but it comes in this little plastic tube. I'm like, why would they, is this thing so valuable or so amazing that it has to be in its own little tube? You could win this tonight. You could win this tonight. You're still small, Mr. Bass. Well, I don't know how to make myself any bigger, man. Is that better? Jan, date night with the old lady. No fishing or fishing talk was permitted. Well, that seems totally unfair. She wouldn't even let you talk about fishing? To tell you the truth, I don't talk fishing with Mrs. Bass very often either. We do some, but yeah, see, it comes in a little tube. The stopper lure. My finger's great, ZB. Really, no problems. So that Walt says this is a thing up north. Lots of little baits and tubes. Well, there you go. There's one in a tube. You can win it tonight as part of the crappie box. I've got a hat set aside here that I'm going to do. Let you guys guess on. Not the Trash Panda hat. You guys already know this one. I am going to do, let me see if I can find it here. Here it is. Yeah, here it is. Remind me, and I'll send a bunch of the up and down jigs from Seville. Yeah. Okay. I'd love to do that. Yeah. So these are little panfish lures. Apparently, Steve was telling me about. He has tons of them, and he doesn't really fish for panfish in Florida where he's at. So that'd be awesome. Give them away. Let me look and see here. Look up my team real quick here, because I think I just want to make sure I got the right team. I have to look some of these up myself, because as astute and amazing as I am, I don't know a lot of these teams. I just love their hats. Okay. That's the name of the team. I got it. Good. I am correct. Yeah. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. Thanks, Jeff. Hit the thumbs up. Those tube jigs work so well in Minnesota. Good to know. Riley. The $100 swim bait. What's she saying that's news to me? Can you show us your screen, please? No, I'm not showing it. I'm not showing it. All right. We can do this. In order to win the Lucky Tackle Box, all you have to do is be the first one to guess the correct baseball team name. The minor league baseball team. I'm going to put this hat on. Ready? Here it is. Think. That's the team. This will win you the Lucky Tackle Box, Panfish Box. You said you don't talk fish much with you. Well, look, I talk fish 24/7, but I'm saying we don't have a lot of fish talk fish talk conversations going on. I just talk about fishing, and you just pretend like you're interested, it's all good. The Rochester Red Wings is the first guess, and that is not correct. I think this is a pretty cool looking logo, don't you guys? Good try, Matthew, but that's not it. John Smith. Look at this. John got it. Round Rock Express. The Reading Fighting Phils. No, but I have the Reading Fighting Phils. We've done the Reading Fighting Phils before. This is the Round Rock Express. So you got two R's, Round Rock. You got a train in the middle for Express. You got your baseball bat showing you it's a baseball team. The Round Rock Express. Congratulations, John Smith. You have won the contents of the box. I'm not sending you the box, by the way. It's going in an envelope. But you're the winner. You got to be kidding me. I was going to type that, but didn't think that was it. Man, Matthew, you were so close. Round Rock. I like this one. Yeah. John's getting psyched out because he came late, telling him he missed out on the $1,000 swim bait, and then he wins the only prize we're giving away tonight. Leave it to John. He's always winning. Yeah, Round Rock Express is they are a AAA affiliate team for the Minnesota Twins. And they are no. Yeah, that's right. No, Texas Rangers. They are a AAA affiliate of the Texas Rangers. Yes, Porter. My big spin to win giveaways are on Saturday nights, not Wednesdays. Wednesdays, we just do one. We do one kind of bigger prize. Because I had a bunch of guys watching the Saturday night that said, I want to talk fishing. I don't want to do prizes. So we talk fishing both nights, but Saturday we spin the wheel. We give away a lot of prizes. And in fact, I figured out the prizes that we gave out last week. Retail price was about $150 we gave out last week because we had 3 jackpots. 3 jackpots Wednesday, Saturday night. John, no, I'm not moving to Friday this week because I got too much to do to get ready to leave. So unfortunately, there's no spin to win this weekend for the first time ever. But we'll make it up. We'll make it up next time. All right. The Little B, you got your Dobbins spinnerbait that you won. I'd like you to send us a picture of you catching a fish on it, because I've heard about the Dobbins spinner baits, but I've never thrown one myself. Barker Basson made it. Glad you made it, man. Although we're starting to wind down here. We've had some good talks, though. One thing I was going to tell you guys, let me see if I got a picture of this I could show you. I bought some of these Groove fishing launch pads for my kayak, and I'm really digging them. I don't know if you guys have ever tried them or know what they are, but they are pretty sweet. And I don't know if showing you on my phone works or not, but see if you can see that. If I can get out of the reflection of my light. So this is my kayak rail, and you got these launch pads that stick on. You can stick them anywhere. I've stuck them on under the H rail on my kayak. And here's a picture of, let me see if I turn it sideways, it'll make it, but yeah. Oh, my lights are there we go. Check that out. Oh, gee, sorry about the reflection. This little launch pad thing is really cool. Basically, this is like a silicone pad that has these slits, and you stick your hooks in the slits, and it just holds your baits in place. In fact, I tested it out by driving down the highway. So I drove about 40 miles on the highway with these lures in the launch pad, and they didn't budge. They did not budge. Really slick idea. It's not super new. They've been out for a while now. But I think those are great place to stick some of your lures on your kayak. Yep, you're right. How does that go on a chatterbait there? It's just got an adhesive and it sticks right to the boat, Fisherman 83. Yeah, it sticks right to the boat. And it's super, I mean, it's a super strong adhesive. You do need a flat, smooth piece of plastic, which was kind of hard to find on my Hobie because the whole outside of the kayak is kind of got a rough finish to it. So you got to have a super slick surface for it to stick to, but man, it really sticks good. Super sticker. Matt Thomas, thanks, man. Video game controller poses triumphantly in between the words critical hit. I got no idea what he's talking about there. Thanks for the support, though, Matt. Man, appreciate it. I wish they'd come out with a hook box to go along with their weight box. Well, believe it or not, that big jig box will hold hooks just fine. I got one right here because I just did a video on them. This is their called the Big Jig Box, but it will hold hooks. Let me show you. This is basically just a big hook with an underspin on it. You guys have seen these, and they fit in here great. That's the same size as a regular 4/0 EWG hook. So you could, the more I have used this, the more it's dawned on me, you could absolutely use this just for a hook box if you wanted. There's a lot I like about this box. I like the magnetic lid. I like, you can put 115 jigs in here. Obviously, you couldn't do 115 of the skirted jigs. I'll show you. I loaded this up for the video just to show people what you can do with it. But this is what it looks like even with skirted jigs in it. Look how easy it is to see your jigs and to find them. You kind of think, well, with all the skirts, it's kind of cluttered, but it's really not. I've got underspins over here. I got chatterbaits in here. I got swim jigs, Jewel Pro Spider jigs. Up here I got football jigs. And then here I got a bunch of dirty jigs, flipping jigs. They're kind of my favorite flipping jig. And this is a great way to store jigs and find them easily. Another good box for that is the Plano jig box. I actually have it sitting here too. This box here kind of does the same thing, where you can put individual jigs in these things. And the worst part about putting jigs in a regular box is trying to find them. They just get all piled in there and you can't really see what you've got. This kind of box works good for that. But I kind of like the big jig box even better, to tell you the truth. So my Vibe has a strong magnet on the center hatch that holds the lures. That's cool. Yeah, that would be another cool thing to have. Yeah, are you talking about the Gamakatsu styrofoam hook boxes, Walt? Because not only have I used them, I do use them. I've got them right now. That's what I've got in my kayak. Yeah, that's the Plano Edge box, Matt. It's not the Flex, not the Edge Flex, but it's the Edge box. Very off topic, but if you were a pro fisherman, what would your top 3 sponsors be? Well, the pros normally don't get to pick their sponsors. They talk like they do, and I think some of them will hold out. There's definitely some sponsors they turn down, but you know, that's a tough question because it depends. You know, if you were to say what would be my ideal company, I would love to be sponsored by. Well, it really depends because I've got really good feeling. Like take rods and reels. I've got probably 4 or 5 companies that I really, really love in that department. I love Kistler rods. I love G. Loomis rods. I love St. Croix rods. Those 3 brands alone are some of my very favorites. I'd love to be sponsored by any of those guys. You talk about reels. I love Shimano reels. I love Daiwa reels. There's a lot of luge reels I really love. Any of those would be great. So to say any one would be hard to say. The same with lures, you know. There's so many lure companies that I love their stuff. I'd probably Strike King would be awesome. Get your fish on. I mean, Strike King has a plethora of amazing products. They would be awesome. Jan, you're busting me. Look at him. Warriors tackle and Guggen. This is a good choice right here. Lew's, Falcon, Strike King. Hard to complain about any of those companies. Those are all 3 are great companies. Yeah, Megabass would be great, Eric. Wouldn't you love to have Megabass like old Randy Blockett has, where you could get unlimited? Yeah, they'd be awesome. They'd be great. Z-Man would be another one. Great lures. You're right, Matt. Ronald, how's it going? Zaldane, yeah. Well, I don't know if luck has anything to do with it. Randy's been with him for years and years and years, so maybe he got in at the right time. Walt, that's probably why you'll never get sponsored by him. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, so Riley's choices: Pflueger, Fenwick, and Rapala. Yeah, he designed baits with them back in 1999, so you're right. And might be a good choice because his YouTube channel's blowing up, and he's gonna get to the point where he's got more influence than a lot of pro fishermen who actually can outfish him, but they're not very good at social media. He's made a very smart business move by hanging out with his Fish the Moment guy. It's going to give him a big edge over time. He's already grown. I mean, literally, he and I started close to the same time, and he's already got like 25,000 subscribers. Just goes to show you how much better he's doing. Oh, Pat, Cisco kids, you need to go hang out at a different channel. Cisco kids. That's my buddy Pat there. He's the one that goes to Canada. He's the one that got me into going to fishing Canada. Good times there. Some pro fishermen have better production quality, but his content is pretty interesting. You're right. His production quality's terrible. I'm not afraid to say it. It's terrible. And it just goes to show you it does not matter, does it? His content is good. A lot of his content is interesting. And that's really what we're looking for as fishermen. We're looking for good, interesting content more than anything else. Ever fished the Niagara River? Nope, I have not. I have fished the Niangua, though. The Niangua is a world famous river. Anybody ever know where it's at? You know, if you live in Nebraska, you should know the Niangua. Where in Canada am I fishing? Nowhere right now, Matt, because Canada's closed. It is shut down. But where we usually have been going is Manitoba. Manitoba's got some big old pike in it, and we've had some good times. Good times fishing for big pike. Yeah, a lot of people do, Matthew. Man, John, you're getting into the big swim baits, huh? The Gancraft 128. Pat, I do not have experience with strippers. You can't even spell stripers right. Just got back from Lake Powell. Any experience with strippers? Oh, dude, this is a family show, Pat. Come on. Man. Good old Clint. He's always just a little behind, but we love him. We're going to keep him. He can stay on the channel, even though he's just now realizing that the fishing or the baseball hat question's already come and gone. Lake Powell is apparently one of the most beautiful lakes on the planet. I've flown over it plenty of times, but I've not been on the water. But my brother-in-law, Lance, has been there plenty of times, and he says it's amazing. Anchovies for stripers, huh? Interesting. Man, Jeff, you're not kidding. Big mosquitoes, dude. Jason and I were fishing one night, and I am telling you, the swarms of mosquitoes around our head was insane. Without one of those mosquito nets, I would have just gone crazy and jumped off into the lake, because those mosquitoes were like nothing I've ever seen in my life. It's just unreal how many mosquitoes are up there. Big mosquitoes. Big, crazy swarms of mosquitoes. So Pat is very experienced on the whole Canadian thing, and he's smart. He's always scheduling us like as soon as soon as ice is out and the mosquito population hasn't gone nuts yet. Yeah, remember when Bailey had the bites all over her? Pat always brings his dog. He's got a chocolate lab, and she got bit like crazy by those mosquitoes. They're insane up there. I don't know. I mean, I guess you just live with it. I feel sorry for like the wildlife. We're seeing moose up there just covered in mosquitoes, and they're constantly shaking their skin, constantly trying to. I don't know what good it does them, because you got a million mosquitoes around you. They're big, dude. They are giant, insane mosquitoes. And she had welts all over her from all the bites. Man, we've had a lot of people get snow. We had snow this week, and several other guys are mentioning snow this week. Frank, break out the dollar bills for the stripers. I'll have to try that next time I go striper fishing. Start putting dollar bills on. See if it helps. Yeah, I should. Pat and I were making some of these goofy videos up there where I got sunburned all over my lips, and they were just all welted. And we made a video about it. It was pretty funny. We thought it was funny. You guys would probably think it's stupid. I had to show you guys that sometime. Yeah, this was the big deal. They were mostly on her belly. Well, guys, it's been fun. I gotta start wrapping her up. Just as a reminder, tomorrow night I'm going to be on the Burley Show. 7:30 Eastern time is when his show starts, which is 6:30 my time. Join us on the Burley podcast live stream tomorrow night, and love to see you guys on there. And then this Saturday, there'll be no live stream because I'll be out of town. And then next week, I will attempt to do my Wednesday night live stream from Idaho. I will be in Idaho. So thanks for getting on. Also, be sure to go check out Get Your Fish On channel. Subscribe to his channel. He and I are going to be doing our tackle swap. Hopefully, the videos will come out on Saturday, and you can go see what I sent him and what he sent me. I think you'll really get a kick out of that stuff. So until next time, happy fishing. Get as much fishing in as you can. And hope you have a good week. And I will talk to you hopefully tomorrow night. Hopefully tomorrow night I'll see you on the Burley Show. All right, I'm ending. I'm leaving. Good night. Ending in 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.